Hey guys, Shadow Spinner here with a new review for the book Beautiful Darkness. It's in the Caster Chronicles series, and it is by Cami Garcia and Margaret Stoll. I've read the first Caster Chronicles book around the time that it came out, and for some reason I had trouble getting my hands on the second book, but I finally did, and I was able to read it, and it was just as amazing as the first one. For those of you who don't know what the Caster Chronicles is about, it's about a boy named Ethan Waite who lives in a really small southern town, and they're very rigid and stiff there, and they have a lot of rules and unspoken rules, and a lot of secrets are kept in that town. And there's a weird man, Macon Ravenwood, who lives up on this old house in the hill, and everybody just thinks he's really weird. And his niece, Lena, comes to live with him, and Ethan thinks there's something weird going on with her and with her uncle, but he feels drawn to her anyway. And so the book is about him finding out about Lena and what's really going on in his town and all the secrets that are kept there. And it's a really great book. So Beautiful Darkness continues with the story of Lena and Ethan. And this one, okay, spoilers here. So if you haven't read this series, at least the first one, don't watch my review. But anyway, here we go. Spoilers. I just warned you. So anyway, this one was a little bit harder to read because the first one was all about Lena and Ethan falling in love and discovering that she was a caster and about her going dark or light. And it was really exciting. But this one is a little bit harder to read at first because everything just starts going downhill almost immediately. Ethan and Lena are not getting along. Something weird is going on with her. And then there's this weird John Breed guy who shows up, and it looks like he's trying to steal Lena away from Ethan. And then Ridley shows up again, and just all this craziness. So it's a little bit harder to read because if you're like me and you want the main couple to be together, it's sad to watch them struggle and break up and all this stuff. But, you know, that always happens in books. I feel like the second book in any kind of romance, paranormal romance series, the second book, they break up for whatever reason. It's either that he leaves, or she finds out something, or she leaves, something stupid breaks them up, or whatever. I did like that Beautiful Darkness actually had a semi-legitimate reason for them breaking up. I still thought it was dumb. I did. But, I mean, I can understand why Lena felt like they had to break up at the same time, but I still was just like, it would have just been easier if she would have just stayed with Ethan and not been stupid, but whatever. So, but the plot is great, other than the fact it's a little harder to read because of all of that angst and whatever, but it's got a lot of great twists concerning the casters and about Lena going light or dark, and with her mom, Seraphine, and some stuff about Macon Ravenwood's history and his death. There's some great plot twists and really exciting parts in this book. I love the plot. It was great. I was worried about it because one of my friends was not crazy about the second book, and I was scared because the first one, I just loved it so much, and I was like, what if the second one, the plot just isn't the same, it's not good? Because a lot of times in series, the first one, the debut novel, is great, but then the series kind of drags after that. But with Beautiful Darkness, it was not like that at all. I was just as enthralled with it as the first one, even with all the angst, and it was just great. Character-wise, there were some new characters. I'm trying to think who the new girl was. There was the new girl, Marion's assistant. I cannot remember what her name was. Oh, Liv. That was her name. Liv. I'm sorry, blanking there for a second. Liv. She comes and she's Marion's new assistant. And I liked her, but I didn't like how she was getting in between Ethan and Lena. But I liked her as a character. She was nice. And John Breed is another new character, but we don't find out a lot about him. You don't find out a lot about him. I'm trying to keep from saying spoilers, but we don't find out a lot about him, so I don't really know how I feel about him exactly. But the new characters are good, and then of course they bring back all the old ones that we all know and love, and they're just as great as ever. So the characters are just awesome as usual. But like I said, the new ones, I liked Liv, but with John I really was kind of on the fence, especially because he's helping to pull Lena and Ethan apart, and so I didn't like that. But I don't know much about his personality, so I can't say if I like him as a character. The writing is great as usual. I love the way that these are written. It's so cool how they do the flashbacks. Like Ethan has the ability to like have visions kind of thing. I love those. That is so cool. I love that idea. So I loved reading those parts. It was just so cool. Instead of having somebody explain it to the reader, we got to jump in with Ethan and see what was going on, and I loved that. That was great. And so I just adored that. So this book, this series, if you have read the first one and are coming into reading Beautiful Darkness, it's a great continuation. And if you haven't read the series and you just watched and saw these spoilers, well, I'm sorry that I spoiled my spoils and stuff for you. But you should read the series. Don't just take my word for what happens. You should read it. And if you've already read Beautiful Darkness, what did you think of it? Feel free to comment or leave me a video reply or whatever with what you thought. But I thought Beautiful Darkness was just awesome. It was just as good as the first one. And I loved the ending. It was a cliffhanger, but not a huge one. Like, everything was kind of wrapped up, and then right at the end, they kind of left this opening for what was going on. And so I'm really excited to get Beautiful Chaos, the next book. Then Beautiful Redemption is coming out soon, so I want to hurry up and read Beautiful Chaos. So then when Beautiful Redemption comes out, I can get to that one and read it too. But Beautiful Darkness is great, and apparently they're making a Beautiful Creatures movie, which I'm excited but kind of wary about because, you know, whenever they bring books to the big screen, it's always a big adjustment. Sometimes it works out really well and sometimes it doesn't. And I feel like Beautiful Creatures, the Caster Chronicles, could easily be done well, but it could also easily be done poorly. So I guess we'll just have to wait and see how that goes, but fingers crossed it's just as good as the books. So I would definitely recommend Beautiful Darkness, and I would recommend the Caster Chronicles as a whole. Definitely check them out. Thanks for watching.